Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and today we're going to be talking about the most worn basketball shoes in the NBA by minutes. So that's kind of crazy how that's an actual stat, but Kickstats provided this information, so shout out to Kickstats and also shout out to Hoop Sneakers for posting it on Instagram and stuff like that. So if you guys want to check them out, go ahead and check them out. But yeah, this is pretty dang interesting because the season is almost over and we've had a lot of shoes come out, you know what I mean? And from the beginning of the season, there actually has been a little bit of change, but not that much. You guys will see, right? But let's get it. There's 20 shoes, which is a lot. So let's get it started right off with the Air Jordan 38 Low. So that's number 20 at 5,656 minutes. So that's kind of interesting. You know what I mean? There's not a whole lot of people playing the Air Jordan 38 for some reason. This is a low, it says. You know what I mean? But a Jordan brand, they do have a good amount of people signed. But I don't know. I guess people don't really like playing in the 38 lows. Or maybe it's because they're signed somewhere else, you know? But anyways, that's number 20. Going on to number 19, we got the Zoom Freak 4. Coming in at 5,697 minutes, which is an older shoe. That's a pretty old shoe. It came out like a year and a half ago, you know what I mean? So usually, you know, we see newer shoes on this list, but seeing the Freak 4 on here is kind of interesting, you know what I mean? But it's not that old, you know, it's just last year's model, you know? So I think Zoom Freak 4 is nice. It's a pretty nice performer, so that makes sense. Moving on to number 18, we got the GT Jump 2 with 5,730 minutes. So I'm guessing more bigger dudes are playing this shoe, you know what I mean? I mean, the GT Jump 2 is kind of crazy, especially for the cushion, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you're a guard, that's kind of weird if you're playing it, but I mean, you know, you can wear whatever you want, but yeah, the GT Jump 2, I'm pretty surprised, but I guess it's one of the better, or I guess one of the best shoes for bigger dudes, so it makes sense, you know? Alright, moving on to number 17, we got the Jawone. The Jawone is one of my favorite shoes to play. I really like playing that shoe, and we got 5,776 minutes played in it. So it's a little bit more than the GT Jump 2. Just kind of interesting. I wonder why more people aren't playing in the Jawones. You guys remember when the Kyrie 1s and Kyrie 2s came out? Everyone and their mother was wearing that shoe. You know what I mean? Like, not only just at the gym, but also in the NBA. I feel like I saw so many people in the Kyrie 2s. You know what I mean? Number 17 is still pretty good, but I expected it to be a little bit higher up on the list for some reason. You know, now that, you know, the Jawone's been out and it's like the season's also, right? So that's number 17. Moving on to number 16, this is pretty interesting. We got the Puma All Pro Nitro with 5,874 minutes. If you guys didn't know, Puma signed actually a good amount of people. So I'm guessing a lot of Puma athletes are wearing this shoe because you don't really want to wear the MBs. It's a LaMelo shoe. And also, it's not that nice. In my personal opinion, the MB3 is not nice, you know? But also, what other shoe do they have? Yeah, they got the Scoot Zeros. Nah. So yeah, the Puma All Pro Nitro is super duper. It's a really nice performer, and they have a couple people signed. So that's probably the shoe that they're wearing. You know what I mean? So moving on to number 15, which is a huge jump in minutes. Almost more than 2,000 minutes. We got the Jordan Luga 2 with 8,035 minutes, which is pretty interesting. I've seen a couple of people playing in the Luga 2s, especially on the Mavs, I feel like. But yeah, the Luga 2, it prioritizes support. It's a very supportive, super stiff, sturdy feeling shoe, which of course isn't a bad thing, but for me, it's not the best because, I don't know, I want more of like a smooth feeling shoe, you know what I mean? But the Luga 2 is a pretty stiff feeling shoe, especially with the upper, you know? So not my favorite, but I guess NBA players don't mind it, you know what I mean? But overall, it's a very responsive shoe. Its traction is pretty good. Anyways, there's 15. Moving on to number 14, we got the Nike LeBron NextGen. Can you still get that shoe? I feel like I haven't seen that shoe. I've only seen the amped version, you know what I mean? But anyways, we got 8,156 minutes in the Nike LeBron NextGen. I wonder if they're gonna make a NextGen 2. You know what I mean? That would be pretty interesting. Also, Bronny James had his own PE of that shoe as well, which is pretty cool. But anyways, yeah, NextGen is a really nice shoe, amazing performer. And it makes sense, you know what I mean? I feel like LeBron's have been pretty popular as of late since changing it to a low top design, right? All right, moving on to number 13, we got the Nike Kobe 8 with 9,028 minutes. I'm guessing this is a Kobe 8 Protro as well. I'm not 100% sure, but in the picture it's just a regular Kobe 8, which is interesting, right? But anyways, or maybe they're counting both, I don't know. But yeah, as you guys all know, the Kobe 8s are super duper nice. I love playing the Kobe 8s, one of my favorite shoes of all time. Also, the original Kobe 8, if you guys didn't know, is the lightest basketball shoe that I've ever weighed. So yeah, that's number 13. Moving on to number 12, we got 9,666 minutes with the New Balance 2-Way V4. That's a really nice shoe. Very solid shoe. Traction is good. Cushion is very comfortable. It's a little bit higher up off the ground, but it's not bad. I'm guessing a lot of New Balance athletes are wearing this shoe, right? The Fresh Foam BB V2 just recently came out, so that's probably why the 2-Way V4 is a little bit more popular with the New Balance athletes. But yeah, it's still a really nice shoe. They have amazing colorways as well for that shoe. Just a really nice all-around hoop shoe, you know what I mean? So there's number 12. Moving on to number 11, which is pretty low on the list with 9,844 minutes, is the LeBron 21. LeBron 21 is a really nice shoe. I definitely feel like the 21 isn't as popular as the 20 was. When the 20 was out, I feel like a lot of people in the NBA was playing it, but 21 is still pretty popular, coming in at number 11, but it's not as popular as I thought. But it's still a really nice shoe. Design-wise, I definitely don't feel like it looks as good as 20, you know what I mean? But performance-wise, it's really nice. So there's number 11. Moving on to the top 10. The top 10, this shoe definitely does make sense. We got the Zoom Freak 5 with 10,362 minutes. So yeah, the Freak line, I feel like is consistently always very popular among NBA athletes, right? You guys remember the Zoom Freak 1? The 1 was super popular, but yeah, the 5, I definitely feel like I see a good amount of people playing in it. So also a really nice shoe to play in, you know, very nice performance, traction is really nice. Cushion also is very nice overall, like all around, you know what I mean? Good heel compression, 4-foot zoom units, bouncy, support's great. The upper, although the quality isn't the best, it feels nice on foot, right? So number 10, we got the Freak 5. All right, moving on to number 9, we got the GT Hustle 2, which is kind of interesting. Was definitely not my favorite shoe to hoop in, but it's not bad, you know what I mean? I don't know, do you guys think shoes that don't have a signature athlete tied to it are more popular? Maybe that's the case, because you don't really want to hoop in a shoe and then also play against that player. You know what I mean? That's kind of weird. You know what I mean? But anyways, we got 11,004 minutes with the GT Hustle 2. We got full length Zoom Strobel, which is nice and bouncy. Traction overall is pretty solid. And the upper, not the best for quality, but it is a very lightweight shoe, right? So, and also it's a very not supportive shoe also. So I don't know why it's so popular, but it is. So there's that. Moving on to number 8, we got the Harden Volume 7 with 11,072 minutes. Of course, the Harden Volume 8 did just recently come out, but yeah, we've been seeing a good amount of Harden Volume 8s as well, or I have in the NBA, especially on the team that James Harden's on, you know what I mean? But anyways, the Harden Volume 7 at number 8, there is a good amount of people playing in it still, and that makes sense because it's an amazing shoe to play in, right? A little heavy, a little bulky, but everything else about that shoe is absolutely amazing. So I feel like next year we'll probably see a lot of Harden Volume 8s as well, right? So there's that. Moving on to number 7, which is the Nike Zoom GT Cut 2 with 11,365 minutes. That's weird. I don't like that shoe. I feel like I see a good amount of NBA players, and also I see a good amount of people at the gym playing in it as well. But anyways, the GT Cut 3 also, it wasn't recent, however. It's not a recent shoe to come out. Weird. I don't know. Maybe NBA players like the GT Cut 2 more than the 3. That's interesting. But anyways, crazy bouncy. Crazy, very terrible court feel, you know? Traction also isn't the best. Weird. I don't know. But anyways, that's number 7. Moving on to number 6. Very surprising. We got the Nike Sabrina 1 with 12,624 minutes played in it. And the Sabrina 1, that makes sense. It's a really good looking shoe. Also very nice performer. But maybe it's also because Sabrina's not in the NBA. You know what I mean? So people are just like, oh, I'm not going to play against her. It's a nice looking shoe. It's a nice performer. It's lightweight. That's probably why it's pretty dang popular in the NBA. It's also a great looking shoe. Personally, for me, I like the Jawone a little bit better because it is a little bit more supportive. And also the traction's a little bit better from my experience. But the Sabrina 1 is still really nice, right? All right, moving on to number 5. We actually have the LeBron 20s. You know, so it has 12,688 minutes played in it, and that's pretty surprising. The LeBron 20 is still popular, I guess, right? So LeBron 20 compared to the 21. So the 21 had 9,800, and the 20s have 12,688. So 20 still extremely popular, I guess, right? Looks wise, it looks better. Performance wise, it's very, very similar in performance. But yeah, as you guys all know, the LeBron 20 is a top tier performer. Moving on to number 4, we got the Kobe 5s with 14,151 minutes. So yeah, as you guys all know, the Kobe 5 is a really, really nice performer. Also very, very popular amongst NBA players. So that makes sense. They're getting crazy PEs as well, which I'm very jealous about. But anyways, there's that. Moving on to number 3, we got the Kobe 4 Protro with 16,670 minutes, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, the Kobe 4 Protro is super duper nice, and it's significantly more played in than the Kobe 5. Like, what, 2,500 minutes more? That's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? But Kobe 4 is still extremely nice. Moving on to number 2, we got a modern shoe. We got a modern shoe with the KD16s, guys. The KD16s is number 2. That's crazy. The KD16 is super duper nice. Not the best for dust performance for me, but I guess NBA players, they're not really worried about dust, you know, but the cushion's nice, support's great. But we got 24,373 minutes. That's crazy. 24,000, guys. Wow, that's significantly more than number 3 and way more than any other shoe, you know what I mean? So the KD16 is super duper popular in the NBA. Yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot of KD16s. But number 1, of course, it's obviously, you guys already know the answer. It's the Kobe 6 Protro, or I guess the Kobe 6. But just look at the minutes, guys. 44,011 minutes. That's almost double the minutes of the KD16. So the Kobe 6, of course, everyone loves playing in that shoe. The Protro, the original Kobe 6, is an amazing, amazing shoe. Yeah, I feel like I see so many players in the NBA playing the Kobe 6. You know, there's a lot of PEs as well, but also a lot of Grinches and also a lot of reverse Grinches that I've seen in the NBA. But anyways, yeah, that makes sense. You know, the Kobe 6 is always going to be number 1, I feel like. In all the lists that I've done, the Kobe's, like the Kobe 4, 5, also the Kobe 6 has been like the top 10 or top 5, honestly, you know what I mean? LeBron 20 is still up there, and the KD 16 did surprise me a little bit. At number 2 and at like 20 something thousand minutes is kind of crazy, you know what I mean? But of course, the Kobe 9 Protro is coming out at the end of this year, so we'll have to see. I'm very, very curious at how popular the Kobe 9 is going to be in the NBA when it does come out. But anyways, does this list surprise you? And also, what shoe do you guys think should be a little bit higher up on this list? But anyways, that about concludes this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.